Um, so raised to me the parting. So raised to me the parting glass.
G'day, doggies fans, all things Bulldogs, and that was our little, just a little tribute for Tim, who passed away tragically on Thursday, suddenly, unknown at this stage. But yeah, we just thought we would make this tonight about Tim as much as we can, and it's thank you so much to Dee who put that together. He's very saddened as well. Felt very connected to Tim, and said some beautiful words. And as usual, like this seems to happen, but we always feel we probably didn't say enough or haven't said enough. And every time this sort of happens, but we're gonna do the things we do. We'll be playing the other intro that we normally do shortly, because every single All Things Bulldogs episode, Timmy would sit there right till the end, singing Gas by my side, loving the song. He loved it so much. Him and Mick Cool and a few and other people just, singing the lyrics and typing them on the comments. And yeah. How you going, Gas?
Yeah, it's tough, mate. Since I found out from you yesterday, mate, it's been tough. Timmy, in the short time that got to know him, I treated him like a brother, like a younger brother. And I myself already lost a younger brother, and I feel like I've lost another one now.
Yeah.
It hit me hard, having that feeling and just knowing what his family would be going through, and even our family. He became part of our family here. It just doesn't feel like he's ever going to be gone, guys. For me, Timmy will always be part of our show. He'll always be part of everything we do. It's just tough. Sorry, guys. It's just tough. Yeah, it's just hard to know that we won't be standing there at the game, and he comes and talks to me. We talk. We've got a little routine. We talk before the game. Comes over and we have a chat at halftime. We do a debrief on what's going on so far. And then we'll have a chat after the game. Either he'll come to me or I'll come to him, and we'll stand there and have another chat. It's just, and even on Friday, I was looking around going, like, in my mind, I was like, I'm very routine. He's very routine. Like, in my mind, where's Timmy? Even in all the loss and everything. And it was like, in my mind, it was like, there was something like, I don't know. I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, maybe he's upset, about the game and didn't reach out this time. but it did come in my mind. I'm like, well, Timmy hasn't come over and said hello and stuff, but I didn't think much of it. It was just, and when Michael called me yesterday, it just absolutely floored me. I was like, this is just, in just a short time that I've got to know Timmy, like you can see there some of the photos, some of the things we shared, like he's just always, the heartbeat of what we do here, and just, full of positivity. Like Timmy is the one that pretty much gave us the all things positive and backed it up all the time, guys. Like that was something that, I'll always remember from him in that space, and something that we'll all never forget. I was going through so many of his previous podcasts and comments and stuff, and just watching that stuff, and and I was saying to Michael yesterday, I said, I just wish, and any of you who know, when Michael used to sing, and I'd say, Timmy, don't encourage him.
Yeah.
I just wish Michael could be there at the funeral to sing for Timmy, and I'd be there in the background going, Timmy, stop encouraging him. It would just kill me. So anyway, I'm sure we've all got our stories and memories of everything that, for those of us who've had opportunities to meet him or not. But he was a special guy, and at times I'd sort of be sitting there going, Timmy hasn't come on. So while we're on there and Michael's talking, I'd be messaging Timmy, we're on live. And I was looking through, and I've done that a few times with him. Maybe he's in his Bible study, or maybe he's wherever he was, but you'd notice when he wasn't there, and I'd message him just quietly here to say, Timmy, we're on live, mate. He'd be missing from the show. There's something there, but nothing more than at the end of it, when we play that song at the end, and him and Mike Cool are just putting all their comments. It's just not going to be the same.
No. Yeah, I know, mate. I've had Timmy on the show in July 2024. So softly spoken, very softly spoken. Tim used to, as you know, he would just have a comment, non-stop engaged from the moment he arrived to he'd end. And some people would like comment about it and give a bit of banter about it. And Tim doesn't matter. He saw the good in everyone. If someone had something bad to say and he sort of agreed, he would reframe it in a more positive manner. Quite articulate. He just constantly sending messages every single day, positive videos and stuff. Like I didn't always respond either, but I responded to every question he asked, and that's what I love about Timmy the most, because someone who has a lot of, loved getting as much information as he could, and he always got questions to ask. And people ask a lot of questions are looking for wisdom, they're looking for knowledge, they're constantly growing, not always being dogmatic with his points that he knows anything. He just essentially give an opinion, but be open to be essentially educated on that as well. And then come up with some sort of middle ground always. And these are great traits in people. And look, I only got to meet Timmy once, and that was at
King's birthday.
The King's birthday last year, and he was all the way the other side. He made the trek to come. We had a cuddle and shook hands, and he's just such a lovely man. Spoke, he messaged me quite often, talking about Tracy, his mum, obviously his hero. Mentioning, he mentioned that, she's like a lucky charm for coming to the games. And then when she didn't go, he'd be like, I told Mum that's why we lost, because she didn't come. And, there was just his faith as well. And so proud of his faith. And he's a support worker. So working out of Penrith there, helping people with complex needs, and then spending 2 days a week as well, going through like taking one of those people to their medical appointments and to the shops and things like that. It takes special people to look after other people. It really does. And, you know, I'm going to miss him. And it was like that. He wasn't there for the video call, and then after the game, I was just like, I haven't got a message from Tim. And then I was at work and I didn't sleep that night. I was thinking about the Bulldogs, and I was thinking about, like, I hope he's all right. Maybe he's taking this loss really hard, you know. But unfortunately, he was watching it from above, and, you know, look, Souths have got their challenges, I'll say. You know, they've got one of their own, Dry Arrow, is going through a lot. So, yeah, I think as much as I use the word hate when it comes to Souths, who knows? But I felt there was a little bit of divine intervention with that Parramatta game yesterday. And I don't mean any disrespect by that. But teams like us, he'd rather hope. He'd rather believe and keep faith. And Peter Webber's statement, keep the faith, you know, Timmy loved that as well. As you said, I told Harry, who, because Timmy told me he loved Harry's videos as well, like obviously a bit full on, but the passion, and usually they're about positive moments in Bulldogs games. So obviously we're drawn to that sort of stuff. And Harry, you know, he expresses his anger and his passion, and he was like calling us all things positive, sort of in a mocking way. But Timmy actually took that more as a badge of pride. And yeah, so we've named the podcast tonight, not All Things Bulldogs podcast, but All Things Positive, in his honour. I'm glad you're here to put all the tributes on, and we will share that if there are ways that one of his church group friends is raising money through a GoFundMe, which I'll share to people, and I've shared it on the Facebook groups and stuff, to help celebrate to help with his memory and his service. And we're also going to look to do some things as well. Look, we've got some ideas around that that we will share to really honour Timmy. We are going to, and we're not asking for money or anything like this. Is what we're going to do. We are going to get a kennel membership next year. This come as an idea from D, who thought this would be a wonderful idea. Where we're actually going to pay for a membership in the kennel, and then every week we'll want to try and give that seat to one of the people who watch the show each week, that there's a home game in Timmy's honour. Because if he couldn't get to a game, he would definitely be the first to say, you know, here's my ticket, here's my seat. And maybe we'll also be able to get one of those little seat covers just with him and his name on it and stuff, just for the match. So he's always there. I reached out to John Corey yesterday as well, who said he was very sad by the passing. And he said a prayer for him today at church. John's obviously very religious as well. And I'm pretty sure John will get in contact with Tim's mum, Tracy, in the coming days. But we're going to look to try and do some things in that space as well, seeing what that's a lot. Look, there's a lot of Bulldogs fans, as you know, and there's a lot of people who do pass. So we don't expect the club to do any more. But it's just tragic, and I just feel blessed to have known him. And what we're going to do is just keep moving forward, keep doing what we do in his honour, and stay positive, and keep looking forward. And look, Tim was honest about things too. It wasn't just about you know, if he saw issues and stuff, we'd talk about it. He just didn't go and attack players in the club, and leave that as a memory. He's always constructive. He'll always ask a question. You know, do you think that this player is struggling a little bit, or do you think it appears to me they're not playing as well, or whatever? He'd frame things in a way which was open to get some sort of education or to get another person's point of view. And I just think that's such a great trait, and something that even like that I need to do more of that. You know, probably saying a lot, sometimes saying a lot without saying much. But you know, and look, I know Tim loved myself and Gas, and he loved you all. Dave wanted to share the message too. He can't watch tonight; it's too difficult for him. But you find people have found connections through this show, through our community, and because they're seeing, because like sometimes in your circle of friends, it's just not people who are the same as you when it comes. You go for the Bulldogs, and they don't understand that passion. You know, people that you've grown up with who may not go for the same team as you, especially where I'm from, being from the country, and not everyone goes for the Bulldogs, and so finding people who have that same interest and look at things in a similar way is massive. And yeah, and yeah, Timmy was a great mate to me. Sometimes probably a better mate to me than I was to him, but I can own that. And such a good sport. Champion people said some banter to Timmy sometimes, and it wouldn't faze him. He's just much stronger. His backbone is very, very strong. He's above and beyond it always, and I love him. So Dave wanted to also say that he loves everyone in our family. All the people here make his day reading all the comments, and that's why he's so engaged to provide stats and to do these videos that Tim loves. And lots of you, there's usually 40 or 50 people watching the song finish, you know, which is amazing. And Tim was there typing away, you know. And now it'll be Tim by our side, and I'm telling now he'll be watching us and wishing us the best and supporting us. So I will play the intro song again soon, the actual intro, because Tim, it wouldn't feel right if we didn't. But Gas, do you want to just go through some of the comments and tributes before, and we will move into the normal show eventually. I just wanted to make sure that we are, you know, well, I think I'm going to show some of his comments and stuff that he put. Gas gathered a few images and just even recent ones, just to give people an idea of how he engaged, especially people from his family who may be watching for the first time, and just see how he contributed to us so much. So, alrighty.
Elaine obviously has a lot to do with Timmy, and knew him well, and he was a big supporter of her son CJ as well. So Elaine posted this message even 45 minutes before the show started to post. So it's been very tough on a lot of people, especially the ones who know him personally as well. It's very tough. So thank you for your comments there, Elaine.
Yeah, there's a couple before that as well at the start. You might not.
They're not on mine if they're there, mate.
Okay. So Snopsy actually got here at 6:42 and said, "Rest in peace, Timmy." And then there was Rhett. Wish I got the opportunity to meet you in person, Timmy. And luckily, Rhett actually got to meet him on a video call the week before, which, you know, he's like, "Sorry guys, I'm trying to eat my dinner before the big game," and he was listening heavily as always, but wasn't saying as much. But yeah. All right. Sorry, mate. I'll let you do it.
Yeah. There's a couple of us that do know him personally, and I think Elaine mention that one there as well, guys. So through the junior footy, he's a big supporter there, and everything, which makes it obviously a lot more heartbreaking. So,
Pro 5 Tay's changed his profile picture to Timmy as well, so that's beautiful, mate.
Awesome, mate. Thank you.
He's the young fella who come up and met us at Suncorp.
James, rest easy, Timmy. True support and even better person, 100%, mate. Elaine just flew back in from New Zealand, guys. She hasn't slept yet. She didn't want to miss the live, so she just wanted to make sure she was still around, guys. So it's been a long day for her. So thank you, Elaine. Old fella Dave, all things positive. That was Timmy. That's right. Rest easy, mate. You'll be missed by all of us here in the Doggies family. Tim, the man, obviously raised well. Imagine being loved by so many that never had the chance to meet the person in person.
Yep.
Thank you, SMK.
Keep going. Yep. Thank you, Knox Corvus.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Tony. Sayed, condolences Timmy and his family. Much love from my end. All things positive Bulldogs. That's right. All of you who know. Demetria, thank you. Bulldog Mike, welcome, mate. Rest in peace, Timmy, my friend. And sincere condolences, Timmy and your family. Brave Dog, welcome, Alfio. Rest in peace, Timmy. Lucas, evening, guys. Still can't believe it. Rest in peace, Timmy. Shows how short life is. Puts life in perspective, guys. 100%.
Yep.
Never know what's around the corner, guys. Care for all the ones around you, people. Love the ones around you. And no matter what's happening, we don't know the outcome of Timmy, but if anyone's suffering or dealing with anything, reach out, guys. If you feel like someone's not there, like, we don't live with Timmy, but we noticed in our mind something's there. He's not there. But people that are not that visible, reach out to people. Keep people close to you, guys. Let grudges be short-lived in life. So Timmy was a true representation of Dogs for life, win, lose or draw. Gonna miss him here in the chat.
100%.
Mike Cool. Timmy was an awesome, humble guy. Met him once and always brings good vibes. Always turned up to the streams, contributed a lot to the community. Will always be a Bulldog. My condolences. Joby, it is very sad, mate. 37 is way too young, guys. 100%. To his family, rest in peace, Timmy. Brian, thank you, mate. So yeah, that's it, Joby. Murat's, he will watch the Bulldogs games from heaven. Yes, he will.
Beautifully said, brother.
Bulldog Mike, met Tim once, such a kind, gentle soul, great bloke, such a great human. I will miss you, mate. Andy, welcome. My heartfelt condolences for Tim and his family. Guys, a very nice lad, a positive, solid contributor to this podcast. He always would politely respond to my questions. He's a true Blue Bulldogs fan.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Joey, for coming on. Tim was a great Bulldog supporter. Always was very positive from what he said, and I'm sure an even better person. From Canterbury Bankstown Bulldog supporters, much love and rest in peace, Timmy. Thank you, mate.
I will. That's where I actually first started meeting Tim, was on the Bulldog supporters group. So thank you to Joey. He actually had built his paid group up, and then he had a moderator on there who took it over and destroyed it, and he had to do it all again. And Tim was on most of the groups because he was just, as I said, loved the information and learning from everyone. And that's where, like, pretty much everything I wrote, he would support, and because he could see that I was usually coming from a good, positive place, and he could see that I had good intentions, and him as well. Like, I was doing the same with his comments all the time, and that's where we met. And then, when I started doing a podcast, he was literally the OG, one of the first ones to engage in that, and that's why I said, do you want to come on the podcast one day? He's like, I'd love to, and yeah. So thanks. Hey, David.
Dave, it was a pleasure meeting you on Friday, mate, presenting that jersey to you. Well done. Timmy will be dearly missed. Big contributor to this great podcast, a great supporter of this great club. Little Aki, rest in peace, Timmy. And Timmy was always very forthcoming for anything that Aki was doing as well, guys. So just last week, he was wishing him well for completing the City to Surf and everything. And hope you recover from your virus. Just didn't matter who it was, guys. Whenever somebody won something on our show, the first person that congratulated them was Timmy every time, guys. That's the kind of person he was. So you boys and Timmy have helped turn me into someone who sees the good even in the losses. We embody the doggies for life, and glad I came across. Yeah, we're glad to have you guys all aboard as well. So you do make
Thank
what
you.
we do enjoyable, even in the tough times, guys. You have to live for the good and the bad, guys. Hushmish, Vale, Timmy, thank you.
Thank you.
Rob Kappa, rest in peace, Timmy.
Thank you, Rob.
Alan, welcome. Hey, bro. John Bryan, I'm very saddened by the loss of Timmy. I didn't know him, only on here, and his active, positive contribution. Always enjoyed his comments, positivity, passion, and you could see he'd be a gem of a human, and 100% he was. Brian, I met Timmy at the Ron Massey only a few weeks ago. That's right. You both went out there. Such a nice bloke. Answered questions I had. New players, was talking to some of the parents. You could tell everyone had time for him. Sign of the bloke he was, 100%, Brian. Ziad, my condolences go out to his family. Thank you, mate. Tracy, thank you, everyone. Bulldogs were my dad's team, and he inspired a love of the team. And this is Timmy's mother, everyone, Tracy Gray. So welcome.
Hey,
We're all
Tracy.
very sorry for your loss.
Yep.
And he was a big part of this show. I don't know how much you saw of him here, but he was the rocks and the backbone of everything we did here. So thank you. And any support that you need that we can offer, please don't be, please reach out to us. Joby, I'm really sorry. He seemed like such a nice bloke. Guy's going to miss his contribution.
Yep.
The Duff, he always stuck up for our players, called out all the fake fans, calling for their heads. Top bloke. That's right. Timmy was the top dog when it came to the comment section here. I'm going to miss his online support. Thank you. Azag, I didn't know Timmy, never spoke to him. I don't speak much in this podcast, but he loved this podcast. Been watching for the past year and a half, and he was always first here and last to leave. That's right. Thank you for making that comment as well. Tony, thank you for your support, mate. Never had the privilege to meet him. Please pass this on to his GoFundMe page to assist with his costs. Thank you, mate, for your support. And maybe, Michael, you can put the link as well so people can find that maybe if you're able to. Timmy's mum again. Tim loved the Bulldogs. I would come to the games when I could. Thank you for the friendship of all the other Bulldogs fans, as it really allowed him to pursue his passion. And look, guys, we know how much he just loved the Bulldogs, but also he loved sport. Anything that was coming up. I mean, he mentioned the other day, if you remember, he was out there watching the Swans, and he's got his friends that he goes to the game with as well that don't all go for the Bulldogs, but they're all inclusive in his life, and that's the sign of a special person as well. The Clutch, rest in peace. Timmy, always love seeing your comments. Will be missed, brother. Bonjourno Media, didn't know him well, but the way you talk about him, he's a testament of how special he was. Life is so precious. Thank
you so
you.
much. Oh,
Thank
that's
you,
Alf.
Brave Dog. Yep.
That's
Thank you,
Brave Dog. Yep.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Abel Narrows.
Yeah.
Guys,
Go to the next one.
we'll come back to that.
I'll have a look at that later, buddy.
Sad news, guys. Rest easy, Timmy. Blue and white forever, mate, from Atlas Astro. Thank you. Gavin Chatter, sorry to hear about Tim. Thoughts and prayers to his family, friends, and loved ones. Thank you all for your support,
Gavin.
guys. Much appreciated.
Oh, let's keep going. Sorry.
That's all right, mate.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. Knox, sorry for loss, Tracy. Thanks, guys. Sorry for your loss, Tracy. Would like the honour to say farewell. Yeah, I'm hoping, Tracy, when you know the details, please share with us the details of the funeral. So for those of us who can attend, I'm sure we'd all like to be there as much as we can. Guys, here's the link for the GoFundMe. So if you do want to make some support, guys, go straight in there. They're trying to raise some money to support with all the costs for the funeral. I'm sure they're not cheap, so please go in there if you can, and if you're able to. Every little bit helps. We're a big support base, a big community, guys, and if everybody does their bit, we'll help the family. Help Timmy later rest with all the support of everyone as well, guys. So
big thank you to the cartel members as well, who have been able to. And look, there's no obligation. Your thoughts and prayers are valued just as highly. But thank you to everyone. I shared the link, the GoFundMe link, to people yesterday, and already numerous contributions for people in our chat group and stuff. So thank you so much to all of you.
Timmy was a top bloke, which is also a testament to you, Tracy, as well. So it's very well said. He spoke 100%. So much about you. Everything he did was always around mum. It was always there. So I'm sure you're going to miss him more than all of us. But you just know that you did an amazing job raising such an amazing young man, and that's exactly what he is. But he'll always remain that amazing Timmy for us, no matter what. So
I'll read the next few, mate.
Please do.
Yeah, thank you, mate. This is Dee, who puts together the videos and everything, and a wonderful tribute, and a big supporter and member of our family, who loves Timmy. And he said Timmy was always the first to congratulate someone that won a prize. And if any of us couldn't think of or especially me, if I couldn't think of someone's name, or if anyone couldn't think of a name, Timmy would know it, or he'd go and find out, and then let us know about it as quickly as possible, to help us remember. And he was always the first to wish someone well. Dee says, we're going to miss you, mate. Tracy says she'll definitely post the funeral details. Thank you so much. And we'll share it around, and we'll see if there's something else we can do as well. In regards. James, very true statement. All dogs do go to heaven, and Timmy is a bulldog through and through, and that's where he is. Tracy says, I'll post the funeral details once we can arrange it. So they just have to wait till they get everything, get his body back and stuff, and he'll be in his Bulldogs gear at the funeral. Heinzie 98, rest in peace, Timmy. You'll be missed by everyone. Hey, Mario. Peter Bulldog, g'day, mate. Mario says, rest in peace, Timmy. Rest in peace. Brian said, Timmy was glowing when I met him at Ron Massey. He kept telling me how happy he was to be able to celebrate your birthday, Tracy, before getting to Ron Massey. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, Brian. He's obviously, yeah. So, guys, and big thank you to Tony. I'll pass definitely pass on the contribution to the service. And we're seeing something else we might be able to get sorted. I'm speaking to the club, but I'm also speaking to the cartel members and as well. All right. Thank you for everyone's tributes. It's highly valued. So many comments then, all speaking a beautiful truth and hit the nail on the head. Everything we said was validated by everybody else because it was just the truth. We are going to notice. And I'll tell you something else. When I can, I try to upload this to an audio only, like on Spotify, which is audio, no video. And a lot of the questions we answer from Timmy, one of the Spotify clients listeners actually said to me, he goes, the questions that people ask on this podcast make it such good listening because they're getting so much information from so many different sources, and you can hear people actually igniting myself and Gas or inspiring us to think in certain ways as well. Like we might be not going to talk about something, and then someone asks a question, and then that becomes part of what we're doing. So he's a huge part of that, and we won't have that anymore. So we still do. Obviously, there's a lot of beautiful souls out there who contribute as well, and we're getting more and more people who are doing that. But Timmy's a one of a kind, and we're just devastated for his family. There's another tribute there, and we'll read it tributes as they come through. We will start to now try and move into a review and looking at the dogs and the pathways, the youngsters, give you some insight about where the club's sitting at the moment and that sort of stuff as well. But Adrian says, too busy to stick around for the live, but we'll watch back later. Just want to drop in and comment, pay my respects to Timmy. Rest in peace, mate. Thank you, Adrian. Big thank you to you. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do now is actually play the intro that Dave's put out, as Timmy would love, and and we're going to move forward. And Timmy will be here with us the whole time, forever. So we'll never forget him. It was Gus's. Yeah. There's lots of reasons we'll never forget Tim. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to play this now. So enjoy the intro. As Timmy would, he's probably saying, come on, let's play it. He can't wait to hear it. Right beside us from heaven.
Welcome to the show. All Things Bulldogs. Here we go, here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Blue and white pride. Bulldogs for life. Dog father here. Gas by my side. All Things Bulldogs. Talking dogs tonight.
Tim by our side. And D says, here we go. Thank you, Gas.
And for those of you who don't know, every time we finish an episode and we play this outro as well, Mike Cool and Timmy are always on there doing exactly what you see Mike doing there, just bouncing between them, just saying the song and everything, guys. So when you see what Mike's doing there, guys, that's exactly what Timmy was doing as well. And thank you, Mike, for doing that. But I'm hoping a few of you take up Timmy's spot and continue to do that as well, because it's going to be hard to see without him there as well.
Yep, that's what D just did as well. He says, here we go. I'm not sure if you can see all the comments as well, but we'll try and go back through some of the guys who obviously come on and want to talk footy and stuff, and maybe new to the channel as well. So we definitely about building this community, and it's continued to build and meeting some wonderful people. And that's what we will continue to do. James had something nice to say there as well.
Yeah, D, we'll leave that with D, Mike, to sort that out, mate. If he can do it, we'll leave it with D to sort out.
Yeah. James says Timmy's a special person and has kind hearts. Thank you, James.
Thanks, James.
Much appreciated. All right. Let's get into it, people. As we said, we will pass on details of the funeral for those that would like to attend. Yep, hit the like button, everyone. Go on and like, subscribe. We're not doing a spin the wheel tonight. We will from Tuesday. But look, any contributions that we get, we're going to put in towards some things that we're going to do for next year as well. So always appreciate it. But right now, if you can spare anything, please go to that link for the GoFundMe. And that would be greatly appreciated. I think they've raised the target to about 6,800, something like that. And they're about 20% there, so 15 or 20% there. So they hopefully they'll get much closer to that target once they know what's going on and when they can arrange the funeral and the service. And I'm sure it'll be a very beautiful service. And Gas will definitely be going. And I know a couple other, Mike wants to go, and Bulldog Mike just said he wants to go as well. So there'll definitely be people that attend and represent our beautiful community. Let's go. All things positive. All right. So Friday night, everybody said that the Bulldogs season is over. And right now, my focus is on the Bulldogs playing well, beating whoever's there this week, which is St. George, who I think will be
going for 3 in a row.
Yeah, and that they can still avoid the wooden spoon if they win their last 3 games. It's still a possibility. So they have to rely on the people above them not winning anymore as well. So it's very much open. But with the Cowboys losing, they have a bye next week. South play the Warriors. Cowboys have a bye. We play St. George. We have to win that match. We will talk about the South Sydney game, though. I did have a chat about what the club sort of thinks about. I've spoken to a couple of people, and just give some honesty about some things at the moment. Mitch Wood's definitely going to America to get those hamstrings done, and they're hoping they'll have him recovered and rehabilitated for pre-season. And really disappointed that he didn't get to play this year. Very disappointed because look, the club's under no. I know it seems like, and this is where when all these people are attacking the coach, who's purely just standing up for his players and his club, and making sure that they believe. See, everyone knows that Lachlan Galvin is a wonderful talent, but I don't think people realise how much of a wonderful talent he is. And what he's doing at his age is up with some of the best we've seen. Okay, like there's not too many players that come in at 20 under the pressure that this kid's been under and handle things the way that he has. And I think they're all starting to see it. Like even the Braithen Astor, who was disgusting again on Friday night, couldn't wait to flip again and go back into us, and deserves no credit. But even he knows, like, Lockie deserves all the raps he's getting. But the club isn't stupid. Like, they understand, the coach understands that he will be a great asset. Right now, he's the best player they've got for the 7. If Mitch Wood's got to develop and stuff, there was a plan they were going to try and bring him in. We've always said Lachlan Galvin's, and this has come from the club, he's about 10 kilos underweight. The way he plays, he could be a great lock. He could do anything, essentially. You put him anywhere. He's that good. Alex Conti plays like a genuine half. But he can play 6, 7, doesn't matter. The reason they put Stephen Crichton into 6 was to have someone there that can communicate and talk and just take a few more possessions off Lockie so he didn't have to try and do it all on his own. And we're not saying Burton was bad at that, but Matty's just not the biggest talker on the field. And so to help the club, they sort of needed they need Galvin. Galvin's, look, what I'm trying to say is that the payoff and the return we are going to get from what these guys have been going through and learning is massive. The teams that do well have developed all their players, guys, right? Or brought them in real young and turned them into stars over a long period of time. And that's what we're trying to do. We've got Lockie Galvin young. We've got Mitch Woods. We've brought Alex Conti signed for another 3 years. They're really positive things. And some of the halves in our halves academy are also going to play NRL. They just might not be able to play for us because who knows what happens. But some of them may ascend, and then our club is working so hard to develop young talent. And not just for our club, but for the NRL. Because the problem is we can't just go buy a fullback that's creative and got that desire, that's just got that ability. Like Fletcher Sharp at the Knights, Gassinas was talking about that today. You don't just go buy that. That's a Newcastle Knights junior that loves that club, that's happy to be behind Kalen Ponga and all that. They've also got another pretty good young fullback that was coming through as well, called Connor Vitano, who we've just signed. Now, I'm not saying he's going to he still has to do it. It's still all ahead of him. But he's got the ability, he's got the skill, he's got the talent. Raymond Peru, another one. Latrell Thing.
Tay Cochrane.
Tay Cochrane. These kids have all got great ability to get to the end, though. Some make it, most don't. There's only, you can count on one hand the amount of elite sevens in the competition. And then on the other hand, there's ones that are sort of there and they're doing their thing, but they're not elite. And a couple of them may turn into that at some point. It takes time, takes patience. And we have players in our spine that are young and developing, like Bailey Hayward. You've just got to watch his ability to defend the middle this year compared to last year through starting. He's come such a long way. The running game. Now you look at a kid like Blake Brayley. It took him 5 years to become an elite New South Wales hooker. And he was already a hooker to start with. So Bailey's come from a long way behind, and his progression is immense. I know he drops that football. You know, that was it was hard to take, but he takes his eyes off it. His mind was like, we've got to chase this game and win it. And what happened, the game essentially was gone from that moment. I hate to say it. Still had faith and belief, but it didn't happen.
It was deflating.
Very, very deflating. And I can imagine. I've watched the game again painfully. And I'll put this disclaimer to start. Souths had more energy when it mattered. It felt like now we can say that they wanted it more. And that's exactly how footballers talk. And that's exactly the message that they will own and be accountable to. I think in their head and in their heart and in their physicality, a little bit was taken out of them the week before, and that's all it takes. They had that game. They were trying to set that game up. They had control of it. They weren't taking any risks, and they were competing for everything in the air. And Souths knew they were coming and let them do it. But then there were a couple of moments which were ridiculous in that first half. And then we were made to pay for it like we have been all season when we've just lacked that ongoing energy. A lot of people tried hard and worked hard, but they just weren't set. The Souths players were trying a little bit harder and working a little harder. Their 10 metres was smaller than ours all game. Now, is that the ref's fault or is that sometimes the team's fault? Sometimes it's a bit of both. I felt Souths had a 9 metre, 10 metre on average, and I felt we were 11 or 12. Just watching it. That's how it's perception to me. Is that an excuse? Well, but I think that's because the South Sydney guys were running harder in defence. They did things right, and they deserve the win, as hard as it is to say that. But we're not going to serve the club to go out there, though, like these podcasters who who had already written us off 14 times earlier in the season, who are like, we got what we deserved and whatever. I know I've talked for a while, but I just want to keep going for a little bit, Gas.
No, you're right, mate. It's all right.
I do apologise, mate. I just wanted to bring attention to the fact that the club does know that we have the most inexperienced spine. Now, this isn't an excuse. We do have a lot of good quality players and a lot of tough players, but they do realise that we do need some luck in some recruitment to get. It's really difficult with the cap situation we've had and inherited, even though it's been like 3 or 4 years now. It takes time to get out of that, right? And you can't just go and buy these players. It's just, you know, Wayne Bennett, for example, was able to buy a Dufty for 5,000, a Brandon Smith for 400,000, a David Fafita for 400,000. People saying their careers on life support, and he's the type of bloke who can get the best out of these players. And he's essentially got about $4 or $5 million worth of players, and only paying 2.5 for it. The old, value in your cap. If you get them playing at their best, they're still a risk, and they took that risk, and it's paying off for them. They've got quality. What's Cameron Murray worth? What's Jack Whiten worth? They're all worth as much as we pay for Leo Thompson. That's their market value. That's what they're getting. An experienced Matt Dufty. One of Timmy's last comments was Matt Duff. I think it was one of his last comments was Matt Dufty's improvement defensively has been immense at the Rabbits this year. So he's watching all the games, and he takes an interest in Dufty because Dufty come to our club, and that was like hope for our club when he came. Him and the two St. George players and Paul Vaughan. Tim and I had plenty of discussions about Dufty, and here he was on the day, playing like someone who was probably worth the $500,000 that we paid for him for one season. So Cameron Murray, Cody Walker, all these Origin players and internationals in that side, but yet we sort of looked at them like our heroes should be able to annihilate this team. The club does know that we do lack that creativity in those areas and the experience in those areas. A lot of people will mention Sean O'Sullivan, for example. He's never been the answer before. In a good team, like you put Matt Dufty in the Bulldogs side, I don't think it changes our fortunes. You put Connor Tracy in the South side, I think he's probably got a lot more experience around him in those key positions. And a lot of that's a little bit more star quality where he's able to contribute very positively. And Connor is on $500,000. He's not paid in the top 10 or top 12 of fullbacks in the comp. So why do we expect that he should be better than everyone else? So when people say, I'll give Cade Dykes a go, who struggled with the injury and coming back from a 2.5-year break, I'll give these other kids a go. We're just here to let you know that the difference between where they're playing now and NRL is it's huge. So our club is doing everything it can to hold the fort, to give us hope, which is what it's all about. It's the hope that kills you, right? It's the hope that makes men carry on like absolute children because they don't want their heart broken, right? When a man gets their heart broken, they start acting like idiots. Well, how about we have hope and belief, and when things don't go our way, we just keep looking forward. It's not in our control, Gas. Never has been. So maybe understand that the club is doing everything it can. It's trying to create fullbacks. It's trying to create halfbacks. It's trying to create hookers by bringing them in young. And we're doing a bloody great job of it. And some of the kids we bring in aren't a good fit for the club, or we're not a good fit for them. They're better suited elsewhere.
Some go homesick.
Yeah, and we'll make and forge careers. And people will mock me for saying this, but I love Jonathan Thurston coming through. And you know what I loved about him? He competed on every play. He wanted the ball all the time. There's a kid in our team who's just like that.
100%.
Lachlan Galvin.
And he's played every minute of the year, the whole year, every single game.
Timmy loved that stat. He would have come up with that himself too.
Yeah.
So as far as a review goes, guys, we can go through the stats and everything like that.
And they're still missing the biggest X factor in the game. The Rabbitohs. I mean, you spoke about all that talent, all that money, and the highest paid player, the biggest X factor in the game was still not even in that team.
No, Latrell. and they're missing two of their halfbacks who'd been doing well.
Yep.
But I tell you what, they were smarter than us.
Yep.
We are a team that when Serrato makes a statement, we don't learn our lessons. It's true. Young Carrazza's lost a bit of confidence. Teams have worked out his offloads. A couple of years ago, young Strange worked out how to rush him and knock the ball out of his hands. Cost us 2 tries. Jacob is the player we love, and he will learn from all this. But he's lost a little bit of confidence because it's hard, and it's almost like he's tried to.
He's
make
trying to bring the game. Like, he knows that when he came back this year from injury, he raised the level for us. He gave us additional plays, his offloads. But other teams have started to work it out now, and they started to try to tackle around that. So his biggest thing is to get the ball up in the air, and he gets that one from above. The other day they knocked it back when he put his arm up like that. Didn't even come back. He's thrown a few intercepts, desperation, because he's just trying to get things happening. It's not like but then he's also had a few one-on-one steals go against him and things like that, because he's always looking for the offload. The ball is not going to be as secure. So you're vulnerable for that. There's a up and down to having that play. You'll hear it in the bunker. Oh, he was looking to someone, they'll say, looking to offload, loose carry straight away. They'll say, rather than someone who's got the ball locked in and they're not trying to offload or whatever it might be. But Jacob is trying to get us going. He's trying to, and his plays that he does that give us our second phase play have allowed us to be the team that we've been to get back into the season. We would have 13th, 14th this year. We were gone until he and King and a few of these players come back. We changed our game. We're trying to be more attacking, trying to get things. But yes, we are lacking. Michael started to say it, but at the start of the year, the whole thing for us was built around you have Woods coming into the team eventually, and you've got a solid halfback, and then you've got Lockie Galvin potentially that'll drop in beside him at number 6. That's one of the things that we've always been looking at when you've got the proper halfback to come in. Unfortunately, since last year, as a 19-year-old to start with, the best option we've had for a halfback is a 19. Now, imagine that's the most important position in any team. It's like your quarterback, whatever you want to call it. You've got a 19-year-old. So how much respect do they have in him to be in that? And to be honest with you, no one can say a bad word about what he's done this year. No one can turn around and say Lockie's caused us the season or caused anything. Whatever happens from here, I'm not saying it's over, but whatever happens, no one can say it's been Lockie Galvin. And you saw last week when he took the game by the scruff of the neck, he put an awesome try against the team that's coming first at the moment, the Roosters, and basically got us in a position to win that game. So, yes, unfortunately for us, the injuries haven't been great to us, and we're a team at the moment that we've got a smaller selection of group of players to bring in, especially to our spine. So when we do lose a player or when we do have an injury like that, we are struggling compared to other teams. Some teams have 2 or 3 halfbacks ready to go at the drop of a hat, and they can be playing first grade in other teams, but we don't have that luxury at the moment. Yes, we've got an amazing, halfback academy that we're working with and all these things that we're doing, but these things take time. Gus has done an amazing job to set all of these pathways in place, but they don't just happen overnight. If you look back at Penrith, eventually, once it started happening, look at them. They've won 4 premierships in a row and lost grand finals and prelims on either side of those 4. So if you believe in what we're trying to do, guys, you've got to look at the big picture. We've waited already now 22 years since the premiership, but we just have to be waiting for things to kick in because now the right people are in place, the right things are happening. I honestly believe myself that Serraldo is 100% the right man for the job. I just don't feel like we've had the right people in the right positions at the right time to do what he's tried to do. We know that the defense is there. We know that can happen, but you can only defend for so long. If you're not scoring points to win enough games, the defense is going to get shot, guys, because you start to lose confidence and then you start to get lazy. Then you start making mistakes and then luck goes against you. This year, I honestly think that's what's happened to us so many times. And when we fall behind and we struggle to sort of be like, look at last week, Dolphins were 24-0 down bang, they came back and won that game because they've got that confidence, that belief, that attacking flair. We're not possessed with all of that type of players to do those comebacks and do all those things. We don't have that luxury. So are we developing it? Yes. Is it there right now? No. But it doesn't mean that we don't keep trying and working the best with what we've got. The only thing that's disappointing is when you hear people like Mick Ennis say the Bulldogs were one of the favourites after last year coming into this season. Well, what's changed about our team? Where is our core players? Where is our spine that is the world-class spine from last year? Nothing's changed. So why would we be favourites? Last year's premiers are fighting for the wooden spoon, yet we're copying that we're last year's favourites. The Raiders have been out of the competition for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and they were minor premiers last year, but yet the focus is always about the Bulldogs. And unfortunately for us, we've got so many supporters, and I still talk to a lot of people, and as soon as I hear them start saying things to me, I know straight away where it's coming from because it's all that is in the media. That's what it is, and they just regurgitating that stuff because that's where they heard it from, and now that's it. Now here I have to sit there and start defending it again, and obviously, oh, this person probably is not on our podcast because he's asking all these questions. If he was on the podcast, I wouldn't have to say what I have to say to this person. So, and I'm sure a lot of you have the same type of friends who you have to sit there and try to educate as to why and what happens in our club and what we're trying to do. And Michael's alluded to it. I mean, I was at the training again last week, guys. Again, I'm very fortunate that I'm allowed to go in on a closed session and have access to the team, to the players, to watch what's going on and see what's happening. And it's a privilege, but I appreciate it. And that's even coming off a loss. But I want to be around to see what's going on. I like to know behind the scenes. I like to see what they're doing, what's happening, and I just sit there quietly. After the game, after the training, I was fortunate enough to go onto the field and kick a few balls back to Critter when he was doing some extras after the game. Little things like that reminded me of when I used to do that for Terry Lamb back in the day, when we were younger, jumping in. They weren't as strict back in those days. But, guys, we're not from a lack of trying what we're trying to do. The other day, I honestly feel like we got hurt a lot more by that Roosters game than we thought. And once we fell behind, things were going against us. And honestly, Ashley Klein, I felt, was very, very tough against us. Some of those calls were extremely dubious against us and didn't go our way. And those memories came flooding back to the players, guys. It happened to us against Canberra in our previous game a few weeks ago as well. You lose a few little moments. You could have been up 2 or 3 tries. It kind of reminded me of that, except Canberra put a few more points on. But bang, once the other team scores, guys, you feel deflated. Then you fall behind. And then like Michael said, when you lose that first kickoff after halftime, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And, it's tough, guys, but it's still not over yet. That's the good thing. It's still not over yet. And now the doggies are going to do it for Timmy. That's how we're looking at it, guys. We're going to do it for Timmy. We're going to win our last 3. Things are going to fall in favour, and then we're going to start again from there.
That's it. We'll go through some chats in a moment. I just think it's really important to acknowledge that our young guys, players like Bailey Hayward, Harry Hayes, Jacob Preston, Lachlan Galvin, hopefully Mitch Woods, Alex Conti's looking really good to me. And I will be doing a video that I hope you all get to watch, showing highlights and just my thoughts on Kaywin Patterson, who come from the New Zealand Harold Matts team. Played hooker in the Harold Matts team that won. And he was in our SG Ball side this year. He's been playing Jersey Flag this year as well. Bailey Myers is back into that team. And Kaywin actually played New South Wales Cup without a training session. So his debut, he scores a try, which was a great try backing up. His service from dummy half was great. His navigation out of dummy half and taking opportunities was immense. His line speed forced 3 errors from the halves. He had an immense debut off the bench, and then he's backed it up again, playing big minutes off the bench against Souths on the weekend. It's quite funny because it was like the Bulldogs scored all the points because Geordie Mazzoni got 3 tries for the Rabbits. And the Dogs got away with that match. They sort of came home at the end. South Sydney did. I think they had an early lead on us as well, but
No, we had
we
the
got
lead
ahead.
from the kickoff, from the charge down the kickoff. First
We had the
minute of
lead off the charge down with Logan
first minute of the
Spinks.
game.
Yeah, first set of the game he does
First set of the game.
against Ruben Moyle, who was also a Dogs Pathways halfback.
Yeah.
And who went to the Dragons, and they were talking about how he didn't get a go, and now I think Souths are about to let him go as well, unfortunately for him. Yeah, very excited about Kaywin Patterson. Chase Patterson as well had an amazing game on the weekend, playing on the other edge, and he's another one of the same age. So, look, there's lots of Broden Cons was strong yet again. He's gone from someone that I'm like, he's too far behind people to like, we need to sign this kid and give him another and just give him a year's deal and see how he goes, because he wears the pink tights under his shorts. I'm sure there's something about that. Maybe some sort of superstition or something around that. But I'd like to hear more about his story. As I said, when I first made a comment, like, he's not in the top 30, I said, when someone said he's a really good player or whatever. Yeah, they took a lot of offense to it, and I didn't mean that. So I've been really impressed by the kid. In a way, I was sort of like hoping he wouldn't be as good, but yeah. And he played, as I said, he played a bit of hooker at Manly last year. He's playing prop for us. They could have used him in Ron Massey on the weekend. I was really proud of the Ron Massey team that went down to the St. Mary's side as well. They St. Mary's led 12-0 pretty easy. Christian Crichton in the team, Zach Sini, all NRL players. They're the most experienced team in the comp. Full of players that, you know, some parents would have said were better than players in Penrith team right now. You know what I mean? It's just stacked with talent, and not all that talent makes the NRL. And they led 12-0, and the boys got it back to 12-6. And I think they were down 22-16 and had possession and were playing well. And these kids were playing SG ball, most of them, this year. Tay Cochran was playing well. Bronson Rubin, just his ability to step and find the – Damon Humphries was playing, not Bronson. He did that in the Jersey Flegg win over South, which was a good win as well. Important win. So, look, yeah, very happy with the way they battled. They St. Mary scored a couple of tries at the end when we had some chances to level up. But really proud of the guys, and they've got another chance to, if they win this week, they will then go into the prelim next week for the grand final. So St. Mary's will play Ryde Eastwood. The loser of that will play the winner of us, and I think it might be Mounties or the other side. I can't remember.
So it'll be at White Card again, guys. The game's at White Card this week as well. But the time still hasn't been confirmed yet. Really
good games to watch, and it was funny because it was the St. Mary's game that probably down that way at Penrith where Brian and Timmy and that met for the first time. Yep. So, yeah, some really good stuff, guys. Very happy with how the junior pathways are going. They've had their struggles, you know. They've had some stars, Oliver Smith, David Bryanton, who we had the Seve brothers who look like world beaters who have left due to just not being able to off-field stuff. And I don't think any of those two kids have gone on with it. They've gone to Roosters, I think, and they're not maybe Cowboys. Oliver Smith's playing for the Brisbane Tigers now. And David Bryanton probably doing the same. He thought he was going to get to train with the NRL team and get paid. You get paid money apparently if you do that. And And I'm sure that would have been a carrot that he was offered if he had once he developed and earned that right. But yeah, it was funny, you know. I shouldn't say bad things about him. We don't know the full story, but I'm definitely not going to sit there and cop that the club lied to him and all this shit, because I'm just not going to believe that anyway. Nor should I.
Well, let's have a look at a few comments, mate, before you move on. So Atlas is saying it's not over yet, so there's still a long way to go. Arthur, sorry for your loss, guys. Thank you. And Tim's family as well. Brian, sorry, Dragons, your first wooden spoon is coming. Bulldogs are going to crunch you this week. That's it. Very upset we lost the game. Rabbits just had the mongrel in them. We were held up short on about 4 times, I think. Rabbits, I realised, also beat us in the ruck. Hopefully we get a solid win against the Dragons, and that's going to be a bigger game, guys. They're not going to be easy beats as well this week. Why, in your opinion, guys, were we flat against the Outs? Did that loss to the Roosters last week take it out of us mentally?
I think that's a simple way to say it, yeah.
The fact that they lost it as well. I mean, even if the demoralising fact of losing that game when you did all that effort to win it does hurt. So you kind of hope, and this is what the Bulldogs have done all year. They've kind of hoped that they would have easy games, but really none of our games have been easy all year. We've had to earn every single game this year. Yeah, we're the hunted guys. Everybody wants to beat us. Everybody's after us. None of our games we've played, we've been able to just chill out after a certain time and just cruise to victory. It's been tough all the way. Everyone, even against the Tigers when we kept them at 0. Any news on Broden Cons re-signing?
No, I hope he does. I'll be asking that question actually.
Anthony McAuliffe, I know it's a sad day, boys, but take solace in the fact you guys have created a Bulldogs brotherhood here, bringing like-minded Bulldogs fans together in a great community. Thank you for welcoming me.
And thank you, Anthony.
Welcome, and thank you
very much
valued.
Well. And Anthony's also been offering tickets to games as well when he can't go. So
awesome.
Guys, always keep in contact with us, whether on the Dog Fart or if you need tickets to a game or whatever. We may be able to find them for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel I found a home. Welcome, mate. Welcome.
Thank you so much, mate. That means so much to us.
Galvin and Presto were invited into the Blues camp. Only the best players get that invitation. And Presto could have been playing bar for some injury or suspension even last year, so he's been unlucky. But he's knocking on the door, 100%. James, for 2007 SOS and actual 7, Galvin runs and passes at 6. Last 6 to 9, we can get by with the spine. But
no disrespect to Sauce. If Sauce is our starting 7 in the season, we're going to have a long year. So Critter isn't an experiment. Critter it's essentially that they put a player in there that can do a job to support the other half a little bit better so that they can get their game on. And it's actually helped Burton a lot. Now, one thing we missed on the weekend as well was Burton wasn't competing on those kicks and stuff as much. I felt Burton was down on a bit of energy because he did too much work. So I feel we made tactical errors against the Roosters where we went too often to the left. Burton had so many plays on the left. It nearly worked out well for us. Like, don't get me wrong, but I think
it got the result.
It almost got the result from some ridiculous things that happened. But I think that did deflate from part of our game against the Rabbits. You know, we weren't getting that competition for kicks we'll kick them from pretty good areas to start. So it was there for the wingers to take them, whatever else. But those yardage ones Birdo wasn't a part of a lot of that where he had
got himself into position for a few kicks this week. You could see he came running in a couple of times and to put a few kicks up. Especially there was one where we were sort of not getting much yardage out of our set. And he came running across the field to put a bigger kick in. I know Hayward took one out of dummy half and kicked it down there, but that was a flat kick. So that one contributed to why Matt Duffy ended up having 299 run meters against us. I mean, that was crazy. But yeah, we were barreling it out of our side quite a bit. We weren't getting the same yardage as we normally get. Guys, I would love to buy the 2 Fletcher boys from Newcastle. Absolute talent. Yeah, mate. I've said that for a long time. They'd be great to have in the team. And you got to remember, guys, well, for us, I mean, forgetting what happened last week, Jethro's first half was a cracker. He was on fire. He was catching everything. And we lost him in the 42nd minute. And I felt like we went a long way backwards when he went off because we lost that edge with Tuala. He had to come onto the wing. He's not as effective on there. And I felt like Cherry was still doing his sideways running so much and just not really like knowing where to set up a player outside him. It was just, I don't know. He's just not at the moment playing the way he wants to be.
There was a moment in that first half where Tuala, I'm just criticising the moment. If he passes to Carraz, we score. And he brings it back in. Like they weren't getting to Carraz if he just looks to find him. And then Cherry just did not look to find Tuala in the second half. No, sorry.
He had
Carraz either.
There
was moments where if he just looks
correct,
actually looks that way, and he had he just, it's like he's just tunnel vision.
Yeah.
He's not even looking.
It's been the same feedback we've been saying all year about Cherry, so it hasn't changed. And and I think the coaching staff has seen it, which is why he's not in the team and why he's actually not in the team moving forward as well. So you can only give someone so many chances. You've given him a chance to back. You can only give them so much for him to do what you're expecting him to do. And if that's not happening, then you have to look away from that. And I still think for myself, Tuala is a much better option in his position, and Jethro is 100 times better option on the wing there as well.
And I love Anari, and we love these players, but I think it's going to get to a point where, and Dave was saying this as well, like, and we were worried about it. When you got Sasai Alatini and Jed Reardon as your starting New South Wales Cup centres coming into the season, and that's not putting a shit on them at all, but they are edge back rowers.
It's back rowers, yeah.
So that just showed from the get-go we were struggling with depth in our outside backs. And people will say, well, why are we getting rid of Joe Pay? And because we can't match the money. Yeah. You need your juniors to – I can guarantee you the Fletcher Sharps and the Hunt weren't getting paid much money, even up to their first grade debut. They're probably getting jack shit.
Yeah.
Like on those smaller contracts.
Minimum wage, yeah.
Just so that they could be a Newcastle Knights, like they want to be there and play for them for nothing. And I'm not saying that we don't have an abundance of those kids in our system. Of course we do. But it's hard when all these kids have got managers, they've got parents. Some of the kids' money needs to go further than other kids. There's all different things that are happening, all different backgrounds and whatever. And unfortunately for us, it's really hard to keep some of the children from our pathways. It just is. And there's a reason why CFs have brought, I think, 7 or 8 from us.
Yeah.
All right. There's a reason for that. Because we're doing a good job. And they know it. Who's up next?
I hope Galvin and Haywood are with us for the next decade. They are our future. Thank 100%. You, Anthony. It's been a tough year, but we are doing all the hard things right with development. We will get the polish. Yes, that's right.
Well said, my brother.
I realise Connor Tracy workload is massive. I'm sticking by him. That's good, Andy.
And that's it. He's going to do a job for us and hold the fort until we can, and he does. And the flack that he cops retrospectively after losses,
it's wrong. It's
completely wrong.
It's wrong. He plays like someone who's 10, 15 kilos and 3 or 4 inches bigger. He plays with so much heart. He gets, every time you see him taking a hit up, guys, he gets smashed. And everyone from the opposition crowd cheers as if, hey, we've just hammered him. But he just bounces back up. That's just how he is. He runs and plays bigger than what he is. It's awesome. Those 2 tries after half time were bad signs. The defense on our line was really bad. And that's what happens when you're under that pressure and you're just chasing. Unfortunately, they dropped their heads too quick after that knock on in the second half, and then conceded a few quick tries. It was just tough. Andy, welcome. Anthony McCullough. Yep, thank you, mate. Brian, plenty of better signs than Hayward. Players that better than Hayward have dropped the ball over the years. He wasn't the first and definitely won't be the last, 100%.
Exactly.
So, and look, thankfully it wasn't a game where it was like, Ben Hunt. That was a different scenario in 2015, was it? SOS, Galvin, Lussick, we need to look at it. Yeah, it's all right, mate. You've mentioned that one already. The penalty against Kickow for swinging that player on the ground was appalling. At no stage did his head hit the ground.
And he sort of forced into it, like he's grabbed him by the shirt. Otherwise, he's going through. Like, what's he supposed to do? Just run with him? He's got to. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Dave Miller, loved hearing Mick after a loss. Very passionate and logical mindset. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much.
Old fella Dave, I don't think we need different players. We've got a great playing group right now. We just need to give them time to develop that experience and timing on the field and a bit of luck along the way. And, yeah, this year has definitely not been a year of good luck for us.
No.
It's been very, very few and far between. Pressure got to us last week. South's big name stepped up. Ours made uncharacteristic, unforced errors and put themselves under more pressure. And that's right. Some of the mistakes that we were making were things that we never do. And that's just from pressure, guys. That's just from trying. It's not from a willingness to try to win. You're trying too hard, it can go against you. So sometimes, and that's why the coach mentioned that comment he did, guys. And it was a 2-minute press conference, guys. It was just, I've got nothing to say. And
the thing with that South team, if you look at their recent games through that Origin period and coming out of it, sort of been win-loss, high-scoring games. The coach has been doing different things. But for us, he had his strongest, most energetic players on the edges. And his middles had stepped up a lot recently to what they were doing. And we just barely had nowhere to go. Like, it was tough going to break through. Even when we're making half breaks, like Tawar, you get through one bloke, but he just couldn't get. Hey,
they were just grabbing a leg or something. They just couldn't get through.
Yeah, we just couldn't get through. Like, they were more desperate than us. And it's not like they blew us away. I know they scored 5 tries to 1, right? But they're always going to get their AJ try down the left edge at some point. It's just a given. They're a better attacking team than us. And on the night, they defended really well. And once they got multiple possession, it was just too hard to cop. And we defended too much the week before as well. That's another thing people have got to...
Yeah.
It did flatten us out, as well as the result. Next one.
Losing Renakama for the second half also contributed to our inability to chase the game. In the modern game, if you lose a winger, you more often than not lose these days.
100%.
Look, as much as having Cherry was on the bench, he's not exactly a like for that position. So it did cause us to move players around just to fit that in. Some of the plays were all or nothing, yes. Tough loss. Just completely shut us out with terrific defence. It frustrated us. Panic eventually set in. Ridiculous offloads, poor kicks, looking fatigued and lackluster. But 26 season pulse still there at least. We're still hanging on, both in first grade and in New South Wales Cup, guys. Because we beat South and went above them, there is an avenue. There's only 2 weeks to go for that comp, not 3, but there is an avenue I found for us to still be in the top 5 for New South Wales Cup. If we win our last 2 games and some results go away, there is still an avenue there, guys. So not all is lost.
Yes, he did.
Bailey Hayward got engaged to a Lebanese girl. Congrats, mate. Well, he's
thanks, Tony. I was
an Arab anyway, so he's one of the boys.
I was going to mention that and congratulate him, but thanks for mentioning that,
down
Tony.
at,
Really appreciate it.
somewhere down near the Ladies Macquarie's chair or somewhere down that area. You can see the bridge in the background. It's at the Opera House, so very nice.
So Brad
offense
Haywood,
has-
I know you watch the podcast.
Yep.
A big congratulations to Bailey for us all, Muddy. Thank you so
That's
much.
it. Offense has been our problem this year. That's right, mate. The attack has been lacking. So there's games where we've defended well for long periods of time, but once we've conceded a few. Having that attack to score a few tries around that would have kept us in those games, and we'd be winning those. So we're not far away. Although it looks like the other day we're not far away. Like look at the last week game against Roosters. We played a poor game. You know, there was a lot of brutal tackles and poor ball security and lost, and we still were in a position to win that game. And we walked away feeling like we had it snatched from us. So, and they're going to be finishing in the top two. So, you know, it's just
first.
Trent from Punchy. Welcome.
Keep going.
Yep, no worries. Thanks, Dave. People have nothing to do with 360. No worries. Soccer Channel, Up the Dogs. Welcome. Emre. He's probably commenting about bro marrying an Arab Lebanese girl. Kick-out, stop tackling so hard. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, we are making the 8. That's it. Keep
Good on you,
believing,
brother.
guys. I believe without injuries around round 10, Woods would have been 7, Burden 6, and they wouldn't have thrown Galvin into 13. Yeah,
They might have.
Who knows? And they would have thrown. Yeah, look, there's all these options that you can look at. But when you've got those options taken away from you, you have to play with what you've got. I don't think, honestly, if you said to Seraldo and whoever, the way that the season has played out, is this what you expected in the off-season? They'll tell you 100% no. That's not how we planned our year out. That wasn't how their anticipation was of how playing things out. You know, Critter just doing things in the halves was just one thing. But when you haven't got a player like Woods or whoever that was your anticipated person to be ready for that, not there, it keeps changing things up for what your plans are. So, welcome, Subox. Rest in peace, Timmy. Very sad to hear he passed. I will watch. Thank you, mate. Yeah.
Thank you.
Go back
Thank
to the
you,
start when
Paulie.
you can, sure. Carraz is good, but who's he offloading to? Look, he's just getting a bit too desperate, and it's just tough out there at the moment when you're playing catch up. Or
There's
even
one from Critter that luckily Kick-out caught.
Yeah, exactly.
Galvin
Galvin to 6 and Birdo to 13. Another option. Thanks, Brian. Tim will be tuning in here from heaven. That's right, mate. Timmy's
100%.
on here now. And if Michael was to start singing, Timmy, I'll shut him down for you, mate. Don't worry. Don't encourage him, Timmy. I don't
All
believe
Things Bulldogs. Let's go.
I don't believe Kick should have been penalised for that tackle, soft call. And also the supposed double movement from Preston for that try. I'm pretty sure there was a swinging arm into the head, which should have superseded that penalty to them. Should have given
100%.
us a penalty to us. We keep dropping the ball. Yeah, it wasn't ideal. Rinakama stopped competing for the ball in the air. You're not allowed to when Klein's refereeing.
That was a
another
huge
poor
turning
penalty,
point,
guys.
guys. That was a huge turning point as well because I didn't feel we were taking risks. We were competing. He's up there competing for a ball, 2 hands up in the air.
Yeah.
Comes down and, that's dangerous. So Klein was basically – and that's why Klein is that type of referee. And look, I believe if Souths were doing similar things, he would have penalised them too. Because he's just that ref, like where sometimes he just goes, like if they tell him, I'll just put the ref whistle away today, he will. But for the most part, he's just like, yep, that's high. It looks like it might have been high. Yep, penalty. He just calls everything sometimes. I reckon he's probably one of the guys with the highest penalty counts in the game going back for a long, long time. I know the club's done a bit of work with Ashley too this year, which would have also been a little bit annoying and depressing. But look, our coach didn't make any excuses. Our team have to own that one, unfortunately.
Have you boys informed the club of Timmy's passing? Yes, Michael has. Maybe they can, and I've mentioned to Michael that, I wouldn't mind if there is a few things potentially around the last game at Brisbane that they could do. We seem to have a Cons on here. Kylie Cons, welcome. Hi guys, Broden Cons, where's the pink tights for breast cancer? His nan is a survivor, and his close family friend who is like his brother lost his mum young to the horrible disease. Thank you very much for sharing
Kylie.
that.
And
So
anything you want
guys.
to share? Anything you want to share about? Hopefully him staying. I know he'd be getting offers from other clubs because that's what somebody did say on a comment once. So yeah, thank you so much, Kylie. Really appreciate it. And he's just come out of nowhere for us. I remember his first game in New South Wales Cup when he come on. I didn't know who he was. Went and researched. Was playing for the Blacktown Workers and stuff. And whoever made the comment about him a few weeks ago is obviously a friend or family or knows him really well. And has basically said he's been through a lot. And we don't know that, and he's made of the right stuff, and he's just been played so well, and we've said that numerous times over the last 3 or 4 weeks, especially.
Everyone's been raving on about him, and that's why they're asking that question: has he been signed? Because we all want to keep him. So if you've got any inside information that you're not allowed to share, then please share it with us. But at least give us hope that he's not gone yet. That's all we need to know. Ethan, do you guys generally believe we will make the 8? Well, it's out of our hands, unfortunately. We need to win our last 3 and then play a bit of ask Timmy for help, guys. We need to ask Timmy for help. That's how it's going to be.
We will. And look, I believe we can win our next 3 games. I 100% believe we can win the 3 games. And if we do that, we give ourselves every opportunity. But I don't rate success and failure on the 8 or the top 4 or a position or amount of wins. I rate it on how we play. This year, I give the team like a C+ so far, or even close to, or a B-, and that's because they've ticked so many boxes when it comes to beating big opposition and teams that we needed to beat and get across, but they've just struggled when they've been favourites. They've just struggled for some reason, and we just haven't had luck where we need it in our depth.
Yeah,
like the Jack Todd, numerous injuries, and look, someone asked me, and I don't think I answered it about. I think someone said, actually, it might have been Andy, wanted us to talk about Serraldo. Somebody asked, I think it's Andy, wanted us to talk about Serraldo's interchanges this year and what's our thought on his interchanges. And I'm like, well, I'm not always, I think you should try and use your 4 interchanges no matter what, like your 4 players. So you get near an end. I will say, though, in his defence, there have been a lot of games where the result has been up in the air for a long time in the game, whether we're chasing it or protecting it, where you just can't rest on your laurels. And I just don't. And he just has a lot of trust and belief. So when people sit there and say, "Oh, Galvin's not playing 7 and Crichton was," he's like, "No, Galvin's the 7. What are you talking about?" Like, he's not going to go out there and tell them things, even though we might see it and he would see it and the board would see it and everyone, they might know, but the players have to believe in what they're doing. They have to believe they're the best man for the job. And that's what they do. Like, they also know they're a development club, and and people act like they haven't tried to develop anyone. Like Bailey Hayward, the newly engaged Mr. Bailey Hayward, his development story and journey is wonderful. Harry Hayes, another one. I feel sorry for AJ Jones. I will say that. I feel so sorry that he's been in that 17 position to play and hasn't made the field like on 5 occasions. It's happened to Lipboy a fair bit as well. I will say that AJ looks to me has a higher ceiling.
Yeah.
Love the way he plays. We've got Finau Latu that we brought to our club. Can see great talent in him. Yeah. I don't know. I'm getting out of my head now, but
You're all right, mate. It's a tough ask to win all the games. Thankfully, there's only 3 of them, so we just have to go on a small run. Andrew McDonald up the wires. Yeah, welcome. Generous Singh, rest in peace, Timmy. Dogs were poor on Friday. Yes, on all counts.
And
I think
January's, I think they just joined, became a member or something.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. I think we struggle if we can't convert dominance to points. We drop off intensity. It's really important to convert that dominance 100%. That's what's been hurting us a lot this year. We've come off to some hot starts without being hot start on the scoreboard, and eventually it's taken its toll on the players.
It's not lethal.
That's it. We should try and sign Jai Lanane of the Wales New South Wales Cup. He's a Newcastle Curry boy, plays centre at the moment, but can play in the halves. Thanks, Adrian. Not going to lie, fairly or not, how I had a sinking feeling as soon as Cherry came on. Has anyone heard if Jethro's injury is bad? I'm not
I
sure.
reckon he might be out this week.
Can you find out for us, Mike?
I reckon he might be out.
He tried to get back out there, but he just... how much chance would you say? Look, I would say if we were 70% chance, if we beat the Rabbitohs, I reckon we're only 15% chance at the moment. That's what my gut feeling was the other day. Billy Timms, rest in peace, Timmy. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, mate.
Easy solution, win every game until the end of the season, and we give ourselves every chance of making the final. Thanks, Bulldog Mike.
Yeah, it starts this week.
That's it. Andy, agreed gas. What Presto fully got chopped in the head. Absolutely a penalty. Yeah, it's... I don't know. Sometimes it's like people have already agreed on who they want to win the game and they've just gone out and made sure of it. So, and yes, welcome as a new member to Generous Singh. Welcome. Welcome aboard. Martin Lazar. Hey, boys, love the potty. Against South, felt like the Raiders game all over again. We just didn't have the luck getting held up over the Lions, and the kicks call broke us hard to turn the momentum in today's game. Yeah, it did hurt, definitely. So do you rate this spine or do better than just get by in 2027? Well, it depends if we've got our full options. If Woods is able to play, then yes, I would rate the spine potentially better as well.
Well, look, it's a big thing. You've got to have your forward pack have to win the middle, and then you've got to have these to give those kids the space to do what they've got to do. And it's harder and harder to do that the way the rules have keep changing and stuff. But when we win the middle, you could see what Critter had hardly any issues getting things done. You know, I just think that you can't just go and buy great players because they cost heaps of money. Look, Sam Walker apparently wants $1.7 million. $1.7 million he wants after they develop that kid and after a couple of knee injuries and whatever else. He apparently wants 1.7 a season. A season. D brought up a good point also about value for money out of players. It's about how many minutes they play. It's about how many times they get up and down and what they provide for your club. And a lot of the players that we're utilising that cop a lot of flack are actually our best value players. I saw a thing on Connor Tracy saying how are you getting any value out of your $500,000 player? They did some big AI thing on it. And we've got a lot of value out of Connor Tracy for his cost comparatively. What he produces statistically and where he gets us on a field. What we need additionally is what a Fletcher Sharp would bring, is that ability to break that tackle, and then when another bloke tries to tackle him, he breaks that as well. And produces those moments at big moments. Like, they're under a bit of pressure today, the Knights. They could have been one of these ones that are in that ruck that if they don't win, a team like Canterbury could come over the top of them. But they got the job done. It was against the Titans. They let in 2 tries late, obviously, but they smashed them. And if people think that they've just suddenly shined a magic wand, and it's Holbrook, who's obviously from the area, played for, really good coach. He's actually came through the Bulldogs system as a coach. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure he spent a bit of time at the Bulldogs, Holbrook, in the lower grades. I'll have to get that checked, but I'm pretty sure about that. Adam O'Brien had a lot to do with developing these kids at Newcastle. And the best way to develop them is to protect them. So, that's why I love what Kevin Moore did for Ben Barber. He protected that kid. He slowly introduced him, and then he had him ready almost to go, and the kid was bad off the field, so didn't allow him to play. Stopped him from playing for the rest of the year. He was going to play a full season. 2011 plays 20 games in a few different positions. 2012 gets that polish of that hardened coach who worked on his defence. Has one of the best seasons you've ever seen by a player individually of all time. But I'm talking about coaches who look after the kids and protect it. And Adam O'Brien's all about that as well. So he is an asset to our club. But he's a scapegoat. And scapegoats, unfortunately, get moved on because that's just what it's like running a club. But I think he'll be there for next year, Adam O'Brien, as he should be. There will be a review by the club. They review. It's all part of the process. And they have got their eyes open on the market, James. They want to find the right players and the right talent. And if they can recruit someone, they will. But they're not going to destroy our cap. What's the point of buying we could go get Fletcher Sharp, but that would cost you a Jacob Preston. Understand? Like, that's what you're trading off.
And maybe Berta, or either one, yeah.
You'd lose probably both.
Yep.
Because if Fletcher Sharp wouldn't, he'd probably want an extra $500,000 to come to us than to stay at his own club. I'm sure of it. Bradman Best has been getting paid big money. Apparently, it's going to be hard to keep him. But, you just can't expect, if we put Sauce there. No, this thing is understanding that our coaches and that have a much better idea than we do of the players. And they're doing the best they can with what we've got. And I've always said, I'm not putting it down. I don't put a ceiling on where our team can go, but I have a really good feel for, and I said it at the start of the year, we may not improve our position on the ladder and go backwards, but actually improve in a lot of areas we need to improve. And that is those young guys that we bring into the system, such as the Galvins and the Haywoods. And they have definitely improved. Renakama, imagine what he's going to be like in 2 years if he can keep himself fit. Like, look at the positives.
That's it. Let's move on. Martin Lazard, guys, past few years, they were unwatchable, terrible. Now we are competing in all the games. That's all I want. If we win, that's a bonus. And guys, knock on wood, we're still one of the few teams this year that hasn't conceded 50. All right, just throwing it out there.
And well done, Martin. Like, that's what it's about. People have a very short memory.
Yes.
Like even Tony, who we love, he goes, "That's our worst performance in 10 years."
Mm.
And I straight away said I disagree, but that's how we
That's
feel.
how it
Right?
feels. That's how it
That's how it
feels.
feels.
That's
Right?
how it feels.
I didn't actually disagree with the feeling, but
Yeah.
I said I could name 100 games.
Yeah, I still remember the
that we were
Newcastle
worse.
66-0. That hurt as well. But and we've got a response from Kylie Cons. Thank you, Kylie. He loves the club, but no news yet.
Beautiful,
So,
Kylie.
There you go. Not sure.
Let's start a petition. I don't mind an old petition.
Sign Brighton Cons. That's it. Thank you, Kylie, for coming back to us on that.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for jumping on and watching the show.
That's all we need to know.
That's it.
He loves us.
Brian James will be another preseason under their belt, so I don't see why they wouldn't get better. Yeah, look, guys, people underestimate preseasons. They don't understand.
They do.
If you guys know how tough preseasons are and what they do, it's unbelievable, guys. Players dread preseason sometimes. Some players retire because they don't want to go through another preseason. Like, honestly,
that's usually it.
That's how tough it can get, guys. Honestly, so there's a lot to happen in the preseasons. You know, sometimes the game weeks and the training weeks, they're all routine now. They're all structured. They're all, you know, everything's easy pretty much. You know, it's not that tough. So, Mike Cool, I remember what Mick said in the off-season. We can be closer to a premiership even if we finish lower than last year on the ladder. There you go.
That's true.
That's it. Brave Dog, don't understand how fans are saying the season's over. It ain't over until it's over. Get to the game if you can and cheer the lads on. 100%, guys. So
be brave, guys. Be brave.
That's it, guys.
Talk
Allianz
to each
Stadium
other.
this week, guys. Allianz Stadium
Support.
Saturday, guys.
Communicate. Love the club. Believe they can
guys.
win. Be devastated when they lose.
That's it.
That's it.
Mike Cool, I'm trying to get in touch with Jestro. He's deactivated his Instagram since the Chooks game. Hopefully he's all right.
God.
I had a chat with him at training on the other night when I went there as well, Mike, and we didn't talk about the game. We just pumped him up. And I actually said to him, mate, I said, mate, how many times you've got a few doubles? You haven't got a hat trick yet. I said, come on, mate, maybe this is the game. So he's like, yeah, I've only got doubles. I said, come on, man, you're not far away, man. So we were talking positive, man. And him and one other, they were the last two guys off the field. Even after Critter went off, he was still on the field. The last guy doing extras, guys, way after training. And it was a night session, guys. Night session. So they finished way after 8 o'clock. He was still out there going. So good on him. Thanks, Mick, for your comments. I know this pod is a tough one for you. Yeah, guys, thank you for that. Amir, thank you, mate.
Thank you, Amir.
Slow learner. I wonder where that's come from. That's horrible news. For what it's worth, this podcast brings light into some dark times. Yeah, thank you. But it's also good. All of you on here that come on, all our community now. Thank you all for your support for Timmy as well and everything. But all of you make this show what it is. And honestly, we are going to have tough times. We're going to have good wins and bad wins, but it's how we sit here and review them and go over them and talk about them together that give us that sort of that positivity. Because you know what, you still have the rest of the week before you play your next game. So this is for me something that helps me get through as well. It's what I call my therapy as well. So it's good that we're all on board together, guys. Getting over it, getting through it, discussing it, dissecting it, whatever it is. Come out the other side and get ready for the next one. And then it won't be long, guys, before we start another countdown for next year. So that's how it is. D, keeping with the all things positive theme, what's your favourite moment for the season? Was it dominating Penrith over the Wars, or the Wars? the emergence of Jack Underhill, Galvin's maturity, Tuala's consistency. Guys, feel free to share what you think on there. But definitely a few of those that were mentioned, even from the start, just to get that golden point at the start against the Dragons, that was something special as well. After such a massive build-up, to do it in the 90th minute, with only 10 seconds left in golden point, that was huge. One of the 2 or 3 games that I didn't go to this year, so that was special to see. Well, I was at the Leagues Club for that one, but the Penrith game was unbelievable as well. But yeah, guys, there's so many good moments in the season as well, amongst all the tough stuff we've had to deal with as well. So, Jason, I drove all the way from Orange on Friday. I love the atmosphere that the Bulldogs put on. I love the Bulldogs. Bulldogs forever. Yeah, well done, mate. That's a nice drive. I'm hoping you at least went back on the weekend, or if you're not still here. But yeah, mate, that's a good drive. Past Bathurst and Lithgow and Blue Mountains and down all the way. So that's a good drive, mate. So welcome.
Sorry, Gas. I actually want to answer D as well, brother.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
No, that's all right. And that's for everybody out there, guys. I think that's a comment we might take into the podcast on Tuesday is to what has been your favourite moment so far this year, to focus on that. Like, there have been some really nice moments. I almost felt like I had my favourite moments of the year ripped away from me against the Roosters. When Bailey made that break and puts Carraz through, the fact that Lindsay Collins was also sort of in a similar sort of was struggling. He was all over in the ruck. He was slow. He was much better against the Panthers, by the way. And Bailey pulled his pants down for 2 years in a row and got us going. And then when Lachlan Galvin broke through, Lachlan Galvin's not my favourite player, by the way. I love everything about him, but I've got a couple other players that I love a little bit more. But when he went through and scored that try and that put us in front, that to me was almost like the moment of the season, because it just was like the validation of everything that we've all the support and seeing those 2 young guys have those moments to get us potentially get us that win that sets us up to make the 8 and be a real contender, because a lot of teams would know we've beaten all the big boys. That's how they would have been feeling, right? So this is this whole parallel universe that was about to exist that didn't. So I can't have that. But they were big moments for me. And seeing Gas on the TV as it happened as well, I actually started to well up a bit because, and I think there was a couple other people who did as well. Got Gas with the sign, he's jumping up. And that's why Dave's got that in our video, because it was such a beautiful moment. And yeah, I know he's done it plenty of times. He jumped. Reminds me a bit of Gus Gould jumping on the sideline in Origin. Just so happy, just can't contain himself,
Well, the jumping was after the Panthers win. It was after full time.
Yeah,
but the other day was special because it was during the game.
Yeah.
So, and that's how I felt, like, because he was coming. Galvin scored the try literally 20 meters from us, literally right in front of us. So that moment felt so raw. It was right there. And it was because it was Galvin and it was the Roosters and it was emotional. It was exciting. And it was just, I felt like I was 5 again.
Yeah. And mate, so did I. It was just watching someone you love on the big screen, and, well, that's exactly what it was. And yeah, it was amazing. So I was sitting there, reflecting on that a bit, but I think that start to that Panthers game and then the finish of it is definitely in the top. I'm just going to make it a top 5. The way activated Burton against the Storm to beat them and pay them back a little bit. The way we scrambled against Manly was one of my favourite moments. I felt like they were better than us We literally ended their season in the end. That sort of that stopped them. They've done nothing since that game. They went to believing that Fosball was going to win the comp. People were thinking that this might win the challenge for the premiership. The Fosball and 4 Fos Park and Fosball Park, or whatever they call it. And it stopped them. And I was a little bit happy about that. And I love Kieran Foran. I actually like the guy. And Michaela loved him a lot too, watching him. And then there was obviously the Golden Point in Las Vegas. Stephen Crichton, again, big clutch moments. And yeah, that's probably the best moments of the season so far for me. But just also narratives on the games as well. You know, that Penrith game, you still got to go back to it. You got Crawley's story basically saying that Wes and Benji were right to, you know, is basically egg and mud on Galvin's face was the way he's sort of framing it. Then we go out there and do that to them. Nathan Cleary outpointed by his opposite player who they continually said the whole year, oh, he's not a 7. We win the first 2 games. Oh, no one controlled the game. No one set up for field goals. That's up to the 7 and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we get all that. They won. There to beat Souths after the Newcastle game. Then we come out there against Penrith and do that. Had to win it twice as well. Galvin to Presto. Beautiful moments. Beautiful moments. One of the other beautiful moments was probably in Origin as well, when Stephen Crichton involved in that try. Essentially, he was a big part in us getting that win and winning that, in the end, winning the series. A series where it felt like very much a type of series that Queensland have won quite a few times, where
they did it to us a couple of years ago. They did it to us a couple of years ago. We were won the first one. We were all over them, and then they came back and snatched it from us when we thought we should have finished it in game 2, up 16 points or whatever it was.
Going back years ago when Thurston got injured, and we're all over him.
And we couldn't run at him. Nobody would run at him.
No one ran at him. Johns was into hysterics. There was another one of those series. The series at the end of COVID, at the end of the year. You know, Wayne cracking jokes after they just lost by 40, knowing that the real game was next week. And that sort of brings me back to Wayne. And what I was going to say about South through this year is that they've sort of just been getting through, getting by, and then when it was time, they stood up, and they're a big chance to beat the Warriors this week. But we'll see. We'll see how close we are with that. And how Warriors have got no halfback again.
Yep.
So we'll see how they go.
It's tough kicking goals these days. That's 2 halfbacks in 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
Brian, after the 2023 season, the quick success we had in the next 2 years made this season tough, but it's not over yet.
It's the hope that kills you, as Jimmy says. It's the hope that kills you.
Boys, remember when we were 20 out and thinking we have no chance of scoring? Look at them now. We have attack. They are improving in all areas. That's it.
Beautiful.
We better bloody beat the Dragons. I have to sit on a plane with a mad St. George supporter for about 6.5 hours next Sunday, and I want to bag him about his crap team the entire time. Hopefully, my recommendation, old fella Dave, buy a wooden spoon, because if they lose that game, they will win the wooden spoon, and maybe present it to him on the flight, mate, as well. It might go down very well. Maybe just at the end of the flight, not enough time for him to hit you with it. Glenn, hey everyone, sorry for being late. Sending my thoughts and prayers to everyone. Rest in peace, Timmy. Sending my love. Yes, and I'm just imagining all the questions all night that Timmy would have been asking today as well, guys. He would have been talking about how good the flag win was, and and the women did this, and he would have been all over everything, guys.
And I must say, everyone's done a wonderful job tonight in Timmy's absence. So
Yeah.
thank you. So many contributions tonight as well. Thank you.
Mike Cool, both of us are doing a good job with this podcast despite the passing. This is what Tim would have wanted, and he's watching us from above. That's right, Timmy. If Michael starts singing, Timmy, that's on you, buddy. Evening, lads. Giuseppe, up the Dogs. This team has character. Let's not forget what it was like before Ciro. And for everyone who puts themselves and says that Ciro's not the man, just read that comment again. And if you forget what it was, read it again, guys.
That's it.
Galvin proving all the doubters wrong is a great highlight this year, 100%.
Beautiful.
Galvin's first win against the Tigers and keeping
nice,
them
Brian.
to a big fat donut. That was awesome as well. Hey, boys, watching with my 12-year-old son. Can I get a shout-out for him? He's a young Dogs fan.
G'day,
Cade,
G'day, Cade.
welcome. Cade, the
Nice.
Man.
Legend, brother.
Your other man is playing for the Doggies. Cade Dykes, go Cade. Hopefully you're playing as good as him. Rest in peace, Timmy. That's it.
Thank you, Martin.
But yeah.
All right.
And guys, once we get back in, I've also, courtesy of the Bulldogs, got another couple of tickets for our final home game. The one that's going to send us into the finals, guys, against the Broncos on a Thursday night. So we'll do that draw the following Tuesday. So thank you to the Bulldogs again for supplying those tickets. Mike, many favourite moments, but when Galvin scored right in front of us at Allianz, the whole section, yeah, that was it, mate. We just went crazy. That was – because that stadium as well, you got to remember, guys, we never sit that close at Accor. Allianz Stadium, you're so over the field, you're right there. So that moment when he scored and kicked the ball in the crowd, it was like we were on the field with him. It was just amazing. And look, for me, I look at that try, I look at the Carraz try, and the two Carraz tries in that second half, and I think about those were Timmy's last games and last moments that he saw of us having great success. Even though we didn't get the result, he was proud. We were all proud of those. So give us some more of those, Timmy. We'll, and keep looking down on us, buddy. So we won't forget you, mate.
Sorry, just got a few private messages saying lovely things about tonight, so thank you. All right. Sorry, I just went into another place for a second, guys. I'm back. We'll do a quick wrap up. We'll be here again on Tuesday for our preview of the Dragons game. I'll be on. It will be an 8 o'clock start. But I would suggest that you watch. I'll try and stream it from here as well. But I will be on the Mad Dragons vodcast. I'll be on there on Tuesday night for, I think, about half an hour prior to doing our podcast. And on Wednesday, myself and Gas will be going head-to-head with the two champions from over there, and we're actually going to stream it from here. And we will just give you guys the opportunity to come and say hello. I'm not sure if we'll just record it and then I'll release it, or if we'll do it as a live. I've just got to check. But we'll be just talking about why our both teams can win and asking each other questions, maybe have a bit of banter. They're good guys. Very a lot of the people on their podcast, there's a couple of loose cannons there, but are very much faithful supporters that continually look forward and how they can win, and a little bit like us in that. And they've got some quirky stuff they do with their intro, and sounds a bit like the singer who made our intro, funnily enough. But yeah, Mad Tony from the Dragons podcast. It's not a bad watch, actually. If you ever want to watch what's going on with the Dragons, go and watch them. They're getting more subscribers, as they should.
Brian, I won't be needing those tickets, Gas. I'm going to win the tickets from that Bulldogs fan competition. So, guys, if you remember when he came on, that Bulldogs Michael Gibson, he's got a whole box that he's prizing away, guys. So if you go on to his that Bulldogs fan on Etsy, you can buy any of the merch, and it gives you a ticket number of tickets into the draw to win, a fully catered box of two tickets each. So he'll have, I think, 8 pairs. So there's plenty of chances to win. So Brian's already there. I'll come around and say hello to you, Brian.
Yes, so go buy a shirt, people, from Gibbo. He's he goes to every single game. He's trying to build a positive community as well. And we fully back him and support him. As you know, I'm doing my own little thing with the shirts as well, but I deliberately haven't gone that hard on it because just out of respect to that. But yeah, we'll probably have a purpose with the shirts as with any sort of returns we get. Maybe we can do something good with that as well. Like we always do. Mike's the man.
Mike's the man. What Timmy would want is for all of us to have belief. Yes, our finals chances might be low, but it's not zero. Our boys each week, and hopefully we can win the comp for Timmy with Gas in the crowd, holding up Karaz like he did with Hazem.
Oh, there you go.
Happy with that.
And what a great moment. And look, I've actually I'll have a shirt like that. If people ever want that moment, it will be up there. It'll be Gas. I sort of try and pay tribute to the good supporters as well. Gas holding up Hazem and don't break defence. And putting together what I'm actually also going to do is put together good timing from Brave Dog, Alfio. When sometimes he can't make games and stuff with his work commitments and his family commitments. And we're going to try and get a banner done in his honour, a Be Brave banner to share that message. Be brave, speak to people, talk to people, ask people if they're okay, all that sort of stuff. So we're going to hold that banner up at different times throughout the game. So he's always at the game as well.
Here's a little bit of footage, guys, of Brave Dog on Friday night, just to show the reaction when we score a try, guys, and the feelings that we get in the kennel. You can see that.
Well, he looks great. Let's go.
So that's some raw emotion, guys, that you get, and it's how we feel there. Like I said, it's an amazing atmosphere, but it's what we all love when we're around there, guys. So good stuff.
Well, I was just gonna just before we go, I'm just gonna show a couple of images of Timmy. The Gas has found, and just going back through some of the stuff. So there's Timmy, Bulldogs to the core. Just some of his comments. You can see, just as what we were talking about before. Gas by my side, which he wrote every single week. Good night, fellas. Up the doggies. G'day, doggies fans. Welcome to the show. Always singing it. And he said to you, Brave Dog, he said, we love you, Brave Dog. I still remember the time you ate ate a raw eel at the game. So just engaged, loved it. Gas by my side there again. Timmy says, any chance I can catch up with you guys at the game? I'm coming with my friend who was a Dragon Swans fan and my other friend, a Panthers fan, which is, he said, as Mick has already said, we have had to earn every win this year. The opposition are up for us. Timmy said Matt Duffy has worked really hard on the defensive side of his game, which was proven again on the weekend. Timmy said 5 players returned from injury in New South Wales Cup yesterday. It'll take a few weeks for them to get their match fitness back. I love the name on the back of the jersey.
That was for the kick. That was for Vegas.
For Vegas, Gas 23. Oh, yep.
He's referring
on that
to
loss. He's talked about that on that loss against Penrith at Combank. They learnt from that last pass that went dead was executed against Manly. So just constantly engaged. Timmy says, I put it down to the injuries against the Storm to 2 of our backline players, the kick out and the full, which led to the Storm scoring a go ahead. So he was talking about
semi-final.
Toby Sexton's kick out on the full and the fact we lost 2 outside backs really ended our chances. Taniela Otokolo, do you see him getting an opportunity in the NRL? He played well last year and did a good job letting people know. Also, 30% of Bulldogs merchandise if members with the club to purchase through Belmore team store. So he was just letting people know stuff all the time. You could save some money on merch. He says Harry Hayes is an inspirational leader at the club. He was right about this. With salary cap restrictions, I think we can offer Connor an upgrade. I'm not sure about Burton and Kikau would need to take a pay cut. I agree with him on all of that stuff. Kikau actually re-signed and we upgraded Connor by a little bit more. Would you keep Burton over Connor? I know who I'd like to keep. And that would have been Burton. Timmy loved Matty Burton. Also, Mick has previously said Burton and Kikau may be on the way out with the new expansion sides. What are your thoughts? Is it because I thought that Kikau might be one that might go to PNG, because I sort of had a feeling that PNG would recruit, players from Fiji and stuff, and Kikau would be one that could help with that. But it's more so we're really taking advantage of that and trying to have that pathway at the Bulldogs. Timmy says, as he's right, it isn't official yet, but O'Sullivan will help mentor the halves in the pathways. Kick-out could be effective like Tui Kamika in the front row. So Tilly can do the same, but bringing in other players like Jack Underhill and Luke Smith to develop and play consistent NRL. He loved Luke Smith too. He's very, very fond of Luke. I would love to overview the top 30. I'd love to overview the top 30 and news. The club has signed Sean O'Sullivan. Nothing but official yet, though. So there you go. And there's a couple other things. Do we know if it is a sellout yet? Good evening, Legendary Champions, and Mick, my brother. Every episode, every podcast. Good evening, Mick and Gas, and to all our lovely Bulldogs family every week. So there you go, guys. Just thought I'd just share a little bit more. So there you go, guys. Jersey Flag had a big win. They did well. And Bronson Rubin, an immense talent. Joey Tayapa, an immense talent. Latrell Fing, he was controlled pretty well in the game. Great work by Mala Setu. Lots of good stuff by our team, guys. And they're top 2 and very much in the mix. They'll definitely finish top 3 with the Dragons and Penrith right there in the mix with them. Dragons on top, Penrith and the Dogs equal on points. I think Dogs are just ahead on for and against. Very good sides and big chance for our team to go all the way in Jersey Flag, which is amazing. Ron Massey's still not over. And New South Wales Cup, they won. It's really unlikely they'll make the finals. Results haven't gone their way, with Roosters winning again, beating Penrith, which was unexpected. But there's still a chance. Still a mathematical chance, but maybe not after this week. We'll see what happens. Who have we got? We'll just finish off some new chats.
We'll sad to hear Jethro taking down his Insta. He's a baby and has a big future ahead of him. To the Grubs pull up It's a game. Yeah, look,
That's
it's
right.
disappointing. Look at the comments recently from Mars as well, Marcelo Montoya. It's been disappointing, guys, that people are taking it to that level. It's just extremely disappointing. That's why, like I said at the start, everyone, be close to those people around you, support everyone, lend a hand. The players, they're no different than us. They've got families, that's a job to them. We're criticizing the effort they're putting at their job, at their workplace. We can discuss a performance, but you don't degrade players and everything that you do. That's where it draws the line, guys, and it goes way above and way past. So everyone should pull their heads in, have that respect. Look, we're all disappointed. We sat here today for a couple of hours discussing that loss, but at no point did we, throw someone under a bus and said that they should never play first grade again and they deserve to who knows what. That's not how it goes, guys. You critique in a way where you do it respectfully and you do it where, you're looking for the best positive outcome for everyone. We're all just as much passionate supporters as they are passionate players, and we're trying to get the best,
Exactly.
best out of each other. So,
and especially with young kids, imagine if the coaches at Penrith got rid of Dylan Edwards and all these, like he had moments where he couldn't catch the football as a fullback. They paid Crichton 600, knowing he was probably might be going to be their fullback, but they still persisted and give him a chance to turn it around, and he did, and become one of the best fullbacks in the game.
Yep.
Not everyone was saying that. There was his fan base was like, "Oh, why is he playing?" But they were going through that time, that transition period, where they had a lot of good players. They had some good juniors, and they had some good players on good money that no one wanted to get rid of. That Gus signed, but he also was getting rid of as well, holding the fort together while these generations come through together. And Dylan Edwards was one of them. But imagine if he didn't imagine Reece Walsh, the amount of mistakes that kid's made. If the whole fan base just turned on him, they wouldn't have won a comp. If the coaches listened. So maybe just give these kids a chance. That's why a club just doesn't put them all in at once and just let them develop without hard men next to them. And I'll tell you now, Connor Tracy, these sort of players, he plays like he's 115 kilo. Someone says he doesn't run the ball hard. What are they talking about? Fucking takes the line on hard every game.
He doesn't deserve to get up sometimes. He gets hit that hard, but he bounces back up, plays the ball, and off he goes, guys, 1,000,000 miles an hour.
He must have internal injuries all the time. It's like he's been hit by a car.
Yeah.
Watching it. All right, let's get it.
Tragedy always puts things into perspective. Sad. Yes, David, you're right, mate. Unfortunately. Missed your comments, Timmy. Rest in peace.
Thank you, Joby.
Great tribute to Timmy. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, David. Thanks, Mike.
Harry reminds me of when Josh Jackson and Dale Finucane came through the grades. Yes, Harry Hayes. My emotions come from passion, never hate with the Bulldogs. That's it.
That's it, Andy.
And Brian, just because the players give a poor performance on the field doesn't give the fans permission to give a poor performance off the field.
That's
100%, Brian. Couldn't have said it any better, mate. So,
and this is from John Corey, guys. And I will speak on his behalf on this. And it goes along with what Brian just said then. Pretty much very, very similar. Everybody's frustrated after losses. When I spoke to John before I even told him the terrible news about Timmy's passing, he felt flat and deflated after the Knights lost the previous day. So he's not lying when these guys are feeling just as sad and disheartened and horrible as us.
Yeah.
They're demoralized. But they get up. They've got to be professional. And they understand all that, and they understand the passion. But it does not give you the right to go out there like these people are going out there and talking in ways that they wouldn't speak to their own kids or their own family. Yeah, it's freedom of speech, but to go out there and try and destabilize the club, instability is what kills clubs. Clubs that remain stable, that keep their coaches and give them a chance, eventually they get that opportunity. You could even see with Parramatta, they didn't win the comp, but they made a grand final through persistence, right? And by sticking to a process. You know, they developed some kids and they bought some kids. And they got there in the end. It's fallen away, but at least they made it. At least they got that opportunity again. The Broncos did drop back down, got great pathways and stuff. They eventually got there because they stuck with it. Now we saw the same with South Sydney to get to where they got to, and then after the sort of coming down, they got back up again, got in that contention. We're seeing it with Sharks. So much stability in their organisation, giving them the opportunity to compete when it matters, which is what it's all about. It's about stability. Melbourne, stable. So where you keep it stable, if you sit there and go and sack boards and go and want to sack this player and that player and this coach and that coach and get rid of Gus and all that sort of stuff, be careful what you wish for, because who is going to win the way we've won off the field in regards to investments and stuff, as well as, bring back that competitiveness where you've got that fundamental foundation that you're hard to beat. We are a hard team to beat. Most teams don't escape with an easy win, even if they put a score on us. They just go out the next week and repeat it. The Dogs are
Physical, yeah.
Yep. So you don't have the right to go out and try and destabilize our club and start petitions and do all this stupid shit and just writing us off wherever we go. Every time we have a loss, it's this fella's fault. This player should never play. There's all the nasty shit. Just stop. Please. If you want to help our club, help it be stable. And it'll take us a lot way further. And then the club does its reviews. They make themselves redundant through their own reviewing processes. That's the whole thing. And you see little changes here and there. That's because of their own reviewing processes, where they go, even with the current state of the team, it's like probably is a bit of a reset. That was sort of happening with the juniors. They were looking at things a little bit differently. Maybe we do need to change this position. Maybe we do need to do that. And that's what they'll do. But the foundation is, though, we're hard to beat. We're competitive. And I can say it's disappointing. We haven't played to our best in most games, and we've had to win games twice, and everything's been hard. But that shows you how determined they are to try and win. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I think that'll do us.
Finish off the last few. So, Martin Lazar, well said, boys. Thank you, mate. Brian, if you don't think these performances hurt the club, just look at the body language of a coach and captain in the press conference. It definitely hurts them. It was a 2-minute press conference, guys, and the mood was so down that they basically had no more questions for them. It was just, get them out of here.
And all Braith could say was, Serrato, he doesn't tell you anything. Yeah. This is the bloke who was coming up against Wayne Bennett. He goes, nah. To a beautiful female, like, it's a lovely question.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah.
It's still raw as well. Even if he wants to say anything, it's still raw, mate. Just back off, walk away. Andy, when I played the Commonwealth Bank Cup in our finals, I made a big mistake and Peter Sterling roasted me on TV. I know how it feels. He wasn't being nasty, but you do feel the pressure.
Wow, there you go, mate.
There
I
you
love
go.
to hear more about that, matey. I love hearing about Commonwealth Bank Cup. Played in Commonwealth Bank Cup in soccer and footy.
Yep.
Not many games.
James, we've been over this already, mate. We do need to have a better look to improve the spine 2027. Well, we've Michael's spoken about that long enough,
They're
mate.
always looking to improve everything they do.
G'day, John Michael.
Reed
loves
Marnie
the
and Toby
Bulldogs.
Sexton.
John loves the Bulldogs. Thank you,
We love
mate.
you too,
Welcome.
John.
Bulldog love, thank you. And Mike, guys, the players on the club are already hurting from a loss. Hurting them more by saying nasty things will just make it worse. That's it.
And that's the thing. It hurts their families who are the ones who read it and their friends. That's who it hurts. And when you hurt these players' family, that's when they get affected. So.
Jason Tarabe, rest in peace, Timmy. True dog through and through. You will be missed on the cast, 100%, guys. It hasn't been an easy one today, guys. We do apologise, but it's all about Timmy today, guys, and it will be for a long time to go. Timmy will always be there with us. So thank you for all your comments and your support, guys.
All right, guys, we're going to play the outro now, and I think it was last week's one. Might not have Timmy on there, but big thank you to everyone tonight who come on and said hello, and thank you to Tracy, Tim's mum, for coming on and thanking everyone as well. Yeah, just can't say thanks enough. And big thank you to you, Tony. You put in a really significant donation to go to Tim. But I will say, guys, please look for Tim Gray on GoFundMe. I will share the link on Facebook and in the comments on this YouTube podcast. If you can, go comment afterwards, have a look, and share your thoughts. Just even if it's rest in peace, Timmy, whatever it is, be much appreciated. Even if you just share the GoFundMe around, would be a big help. We understand people don't have the finances to help, and you've all got your own families and own stories and tragedies to deal with, but everything is appreciated. So thank you so much. Like the podcast, do that as well. Timmy would always say that, so thank you, Dave. Thank you once again for all the positive Bulldogs featuring Dogfather Gas and Tim by our side. Beautiful, Mike. We need a new, really, we look at top four side at the moment. Trust people, trust. Beautiful. Thank you, James. Have a good one. Up the doggies. Rest in peace, Timmy. Fantastic tribute podcast tonight. One of the episodes of this podcast of all time. Thank you so much, David. Love you, brother. Thank you, Jason. Please do. It's a beautiful tribute. And in the movie with that beautiful song that Dave picked out was just unbelievable. Thank you, Andy. Thank you so much. And I do want to hear more about that Commonwealth Bank Cup footy, mate. I love those days. If you guys can sing the song along with me.
So somebody jump in for Timmy. He wants people to type it in there with him when he's on there. Just like follow his lead, guys. Follow Mike's lead on there like Timmy used to, guys. Fill his void, please.
I was going to tell Mike he actually gets one of the lyrics wrong. I've got to remember what it is, but it's Bulldogs talking more. But I think he hears it as something else, but that's good.
That's all right. Thanks, guys.
Love you guys and love the dogs. And we'll see you on Tuesday night. It's going to be a big week. It's the Vegas team. And there's a huge stat when it comes to the Dragons. No club. We'll bring this on Tuesday, but I'll just say it once here. No club has had as many losses or has spent as long on a losing streak with another team as the Dragons against the Bulldogs. So that's a huge stat. Every other team has managed to break that duck somewhere along the line in a less time period than that. So, yep, they've been in for over 1,000 days in the bin. And that's why they're so desperate to beat us. And this potentially is another grand final this week, guys.
That's it.
A team trying to avoid the spoon for the first time in their history versus a side that is hurting after doing so much to get their season back on track and has to win to keep that light flickering, or the preseason is coming very, very quickly if they don't. Let's go, people. Sing the song along with Timmy. Thank you, Gas, and much love to you, mate. And thank you. You're so strong tonight, brother. And big thank you to you, mate.
Thanks, guys.
Let's
See you,
go.
Timmy. See you, guys.
See you all. Go the dog.
Trailing by 1 to win it. He's got it away. It has G-Day Doggies fans, welcome to the show.